Do you know why some students study for few hours and get higher scores, while others study day and night but still get average scores? It's not about how long you study, it's about how you study. In this video, I'll introduce 4 research-based techniques which you can use to master any topic and how you can implement this immediately using ChatGPT. So let's begin. Hi everyone, my name is Nitesh and welcome back to my channel. First, let's address a common mistake which most of the students make, especially in India. We have been made to believe that repeated reading, highlighting notes, and watching lectures again and again is effective. According to a research done by a renowned psychologist, John Dunlersky, these traditional methods are actually among the least effective method of learning in long run. So what actually works? 4 study techniques have been repeatedly validated by research. The first one is Retrieval Practice, which is actively recalling information from memory that significantly improves retention and learning. The second one is Spaced Repetition, that focus on revising the material at gradually increasing intervals that helps lock information in the memory. Third one is Interleaving, which is mixing up different topics during study sessions that improves the ability to apply concepts flexibly and accurately. The fourth one is Feynman technique, that encourages explaining concepts in simple terms that reveals knowledge gaps and enhances understanding. A landmark analysis done by Dunlersky and his colleague revealed that combining these 4 techniques consistently delivers the best learning outcomes across age groups, subjects, and complexity of material. Now, how does ChatGPT fit into all these? ChatGPT is not an answering machine. It's a powerful tool that can effectively implement all these 4 principles. So you don't need to fully rely on the traditional classroom setup or coaching. Let's take an example. Suppose you want to master data structure and algorithm for your semester or interview preparation. You first set the context clearly for ChatGPT, and here is a simple prompt template. I am setting up ChatGPT as my personal study assistant for data structures and algorithms. I've listed all the core topics in my syllabus like arrays, linked lists, trees, and dynamic programming, so it knows exactly what to cover. I've also asked it to give a mix of question formats like MCQ or short explanation to keep things interesting and test different level of skills. I've also enabled something called an error bank, so whenever I make a mistake, it saves it and reminds me to review it after 1 day, 3 days, and 7 days. This helps with long-term memory. And to avoid studying in a fixed pattern, I've told it to mix up the topics. That's called interleaving, and it's proven to improve learning. Lastly, I've asked it to wait for me to start the session so I stay in control. Now you are ready to go as soon as you enter start. Every day I spend just 30 to 45 minutes with ChatGPT. No need to study for hours. I simply give me 10 mixed difficulty questions on a specific topic. ChatGPT gives the question one by one or in batch, whatever is preferred. I answer and it tells me what's right, what's wrongs, and explains everything clearly. It also keeps tracks of my mistakes automatically. This makes each session focused, personalized, and mistake aware, exactly what we miss in regular self-study. Instead of repeating the same topic again and again, I revise it after a gap, usually the next day. This uses a technique called spaced repetition. It helps strengthen memory by reviewing just before you forget it. And I combine it with another technique called interleaving, which means I mix topics while practicing. This forces my brain to switch between different types of problems, just like real exams. So here is what I asked ChatGPT. Quiz me on yesterday's error, then give me 5 fresh questions on dynamic programming. This way I am reviewing my weak areas from error bank and building new knowledge at the same time. Once I finish a study session, I don't just move on. I take the concept I found hardest, let's say Dijkstra algorithm, and I try to explain it in simple words, just like I'm teaching it to someone else. Then I type this to ChatGPT. I'll explain Dijkstra algorithm in simple terms, evaluate my clarity and accuracy. Now ChatGPT will assess you on these parameters like clarity, accuracy, relevance, and usefulness. Once you give your response, ChatGPT gives instant feedback. It tells me where I was clear and where my understanding is weak. This is called Feynman technique, which says if you cannot explain it simply, you haven't fully understood it. It turns passive learning into active learning. And with ChatGPT, you get a personal evaluator anytime you want. This structured ChatGPT workflow is explicitly built around those 4 methods that we discussed. Retrieval practice actively engages your brain that build strong memory traces. Spaced repetition help you remember better by reviewing the things just before you're about to forget them. Interleaving helps you to differentiate between related concepts and effectively preparing you for a real exam scenario. Feynman technique ensures that you can simplify and clearly express your knowledge. Many top institutions validate these techniques consistently, showing improved results as compared to passive study. Let's quickly address some potential problems. If you're tempted to peek at answers before even thinking, tell ChatGPT explicitly, don't reveal the answers until I respond. If you miss a day of spaced review, just ask ChatGPT, show me overdue questions from my error bank. If difficulty seems off, maybe too easy, too hard, just adjust it clearly. Make the next set of questions one level easier or harder, whatever you prefer. The strength of this approach is how easily you can integrate it with all the free resources available. I encourage you to try this method immediately. Just pick one topic and apply this exact ChatGPT prompt setup for 5 days and see the difference for yourself. If you still face challenges, do let me know in the comments. If you like this video, hit the like and subscribe to my channel. See you in the next video. Till then, Jiyo Smart, JiyoAI.